Yeah. Oh yeah. Talking Point platform. TTPTV. Oh yeah. Unale we pledge, we love and loyalty. To we sweet, sweet mama salute. Now we all come together as well. For tomorrow, now we go make salute. And it's where you there, it no matter. Sky where you be, it no matter. Anything you they do, it no matter. Oh yeah, it no matter. Now we putting up stronger one inside Sierra Leone, like a big quantity. Where breeze not a shade. TTPTV, Talking Points platform. Then they give you information about salute.
Yes, family, and welcome back to yet another very important segment where they come through the Talking Point platform. My name is Mohamed Kago, and today is the 24th of July 2021. In the program, we get too many issues that we want to now for us to understand what they go on in the country. Well, let we begin with the one of the most important one first, where we feel say for a very long time, human rights activists don't they agitate for let we expunge, in other words, for let's alone abolish the death penalty. The death penalty don't cause a lot of mayhem in the country. Political opponents then don't use against them, comping them, and just leave for silence them forever. And again, we get another disturbing video when I said for can see, where the All People's Congress Party, some members then say, if they can't have power, then they revenge against what the SLPP they do there. Because they feel say SLPP they treat it unfair. Now, for talk better one, I deal with my colleagues here. We're going to introduce Mr. Kamara from the UK. I go greet people there far and wide. What they listen.
Good evening again, we listeners and viewers. And welcome again to another interesting program on our station and listen to the discussion. We get very good news, analysis for us today.
All right, we bring come to Doc Alpha again. You go greet people from Ukraine where they listen far and wide.
Yeah, family, and Cabo, and welcome to the program as always.
All right. If you are joining for the first time, this program, don't forget to listen both live on YouTube as well as Facebook. If you didn't have YouTube, you can just type TPP Leone. You will get the page and then watch the full show here. So let me go straight to the point. Now, Salon now become the latest country where abolished the death penalty after we MP them unanimously then vote for abandon this punishment. And we don't become the 23rd country then at the continent where end this punishment. I mean, if you check around, Malawi, the rule back in 2021 for say death penalty unconstitutional, and in 2020 the abolition, and in 2019 also Chad also rule say the death penalty illegal. But let me go quickly. Let me try to understand how this law came. First, the law now inherited law. The law come up from we colonial masters, and not to say that we success don't make this law. Now we colonial masters and then we impose this law per we power say we forget law. Now we don't use this law several times. But one of the area where the count some controversial in 1998, the law then be used for kill 24 soldiers during the term of Kaba, during the SLPP term, where some of them soldiers and they are accused and say they be involved by the overthrew the then president. So 1998 they be used. So but under the 1991 constitution, the death penalty it get different way wouldn't they use that. For example, one, if you kill person, they kill you according to law. But if you hold thief, you know, robber, then catch you, then go kill you. And thirdly, if they catch you for treason, I mean, you get mutiny, something like that, the law will take in cause heavily and then go kill you. So we don't see how the death penalty over the years and people that don't use for even silence the opposition, like just like we mentioned. But now good thing for we because we don't move. in this will raise probably the international image of Salone, and they will see us about human rights violations or respect life. Life now one thing where we say nobody no get right for taken from you because now God give you right, except in some certain cases then if law. But again, the law now we make up. But before we go further, let's just bring in Alpha. What you make of this significant stride which Salon will take when it comes to making the right decision at the right time by abolishing? Because it's not only first in this. Now we'll go for can play the human rights boss chairperson where be the type of talk about see they don't take when they file a government for let government up there for make them police laws. They are so happy. But they bring on the clip there. But what you make of this?
Well, firstly, I want to say it's very, very pleasant for CC with parliamentarians them work together on something meaningful and pass this law unanimously. And I think now a step in the direction naturally, but of course, every other law or every other proposition must get some kind of opposition or some kind of doubt. You understand? But normally it's a good thing. But I just want to listen as they know say for the most part, things like the capital punishment when a death sentence. Now for serious crimes, them things like murder, where you kill another person, you know, or aggravated robbery, where you go thief somebody under you under severe force, under gunpoint, and you damage the person, or you cause violence to the person, and something we get for do with mutiny and treason. You understand that for the most part, maybe soldiers them, as in the case of the 24 soldiers, where you rightly mentioned, where commit mutiny or treason against a government or a state. Now, the most thing then they with regards to Salone, where then they do the death sentence, therefore, and inherited law from colonial masters. So, at a point in time in a particular era, and then still award only as precedent, it obviously seems as if for say we forget a very strong role like the death sentence way for bad people that we commit such crime. But the world don't move, the world don't evolve. And human being by nature, we are very treacherous. And certain people, them not only Salone and all over the world, go use such laws for go against political opponents. And we see in the case where they kill 24 soldiers na Salone. I know they say the soldiers were innocent per se, but in the case of Kula Samba and few others, where people then be don't say, I didn't mean that. Maybe then for be give them life imprisonment. Over time, therefore, don't find out say some of those people were actually not guilty of the mutiny of this. So yes, I believe say a lot of times miscarriage of justice they happen, especially in on the developed places them like Salone, where we not too much don't advance in terms of we human rights and credentials them. Politicians and many other people alike will use such things, call political points, put opponents at death for get waiting they want and miscarriage justice. But aside from political opponents, if normally somebody can be wrongfully convicted, wrongfully accused, and convicted of murder or some serious crimes, you don't go kill the person. Then 5, 10, 15 years over the course of time, then find out say no, he was innocent, no, we mistake, no, we this. So you don't cause irredeemable damage, you don't take the life of person. So I believe say if we look at in that light, yes, it's good that the death penalty is being abolished. But mind you, even places them like states in America still get the death sentence. But I believe say the death sentence remove we for make sure say we bring a very strong law where go bet perpetrators them, because perpetrators are out there, be it in rape or murder. Strong laws them we go bet perpetrators. But yes, I agree say the death penalty should go away, because human, as I say, we get a tendency for make mistake, and unfortunately certain people in worldwide don't die we don't deserve to die.
All right, thank you very much. Yes, Kamara, now we look at Africa. Africa, they do a good job of recent time. I don't know if the leaders any for take credit, or probably not because of too much pressure from the West from what they act. Because we don't say Salone don't become the 23rd country for abolish the death penalty. Recently, we see Chad, Tanzania, and even Malawi also will be supporter. They all don't kick the death penalty out of the books. I know what is it something like a will, or maybe not something that force on we based on you general perception of African leaders having the tendency for completely surrender and take to dictation from the West. Do we need to take any credit for this, or probably just something like it was extremely imposed on us?
Well, there's always twofold to every aspect of such nature anyway. You will say like one, the pressure they, because we get human rights body them. Definitely we expect much from countries and then get like way they assess country the human right records, and that can tell your position na the international world, how they will consider that country, your democratic credentials, human right records, they take that all that into consideration. So if you say yes, they have been it is being imposed on us, yes, I will take as a yeah now like that way they do them. The other way, we self will not fool. We don't work hard, we don't travel, some of we don't get Western education, and a lot don't return back home. They don't go the day in sensitive positions, and they didn't have government. So some things and some of we African brothers and we then come abroad, they don't learn, then things they say, okay, we just feel say it wrong. Like there were a few things then where things they were very Kiwi Doc we they mentioned. Because we don't see you say people they get mistrial, mistakes they don't do. We don't see now places like the UK and the US. Then they convict somebody, then send them to prison for like 20 years, and later they can't talk, say in fact that the wrong person that be sent to prison, or maybe sufficient evidence not been there, where we make them find that particular person they guilty, or later somebody they come forward, say, okay, like the DNA, by then what they been do, being advanced. But anyway, they're not like how technology do advance, how not been there. A lot of mistakes that be happen where they convict the wrong person. You assume say I've been like the death sentence, then being end up forget that person, then the person lost in life. Then 10, 20 years down the line, then come, then revisit that case, and then can say, okay, the man not to him be really commit that. So don't see people don't go like up to 30, 40, 50 years in prison and then release them. So like innocent somebody who don't die. So them mistakes there, I believe, say we self as Africans, then we don't get Western exposure and education. When we go back home, we don't say no. Just at least in case of them reason they are, no, we stop for the kill we self. When anything happen, at least no send somebody, because according to this law, at least you go 30 years imprisonment. So meaning even more. More or less you will spend the rest of your life at prison. During that period, if any of them kind of mistakes then they happen, they give a second chance. Then generally, no matter when the crime, where somebody who don't commit, we see like George Floyd in case how they able to sentence the policeman. Yes, he kill him. But they not kill the man, they send him to prison for like 22 years in prison. Every prison, now for let it go rebuild somebody, correct you, change your mentality. You understand? Like it recycle the person and then bring you back to society, rather than we get rid of yourself. For end somebody in life in totality. No matter sometimes and we can do certain things, and if you look the police officer with you, so at the end of the whole process, by the time they go through the trial and the global tension where the thing can get, it gets some regret and it shows some remorse at the end, even apologize to the man in family. So like even like this, let's say that man take 10 years in a prison. When he come out, I believe say they commit that kind of crime again. So it's more about like give people them second chance in life. But one key thing for we on nation like Sierra Leone, people don't use them politically way bad. So let's say, and no government, no they didn't have power forever. We all see waiting like for example the FRC situation like the 1990. Let's assume say them guys and them send them to prison for life imprisonment. With regime change, then for don't get another chance where they will come out, and I believe say a lot of them for don't reform. The mentality for don't change, and that for don't help for bring them back in our society as newborn guys them with different thoughts. That chance I believe say everybody need in life, regardless to whatever crime people then commit. I feel say that just good for we own nation like Sierra Leone.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yes, because even the TREC, the Truth and Reconciliation Commission, also mentioned the use of death penalty where political, stalwarts and don't use against their opponents, which is a very good thing. But anyway, let me listen to the people that were on the behind this law for long from Madam Pula. Now we are from our waiting at their reaction. This na credit from AYV. We will use this clip.
Where does it put us in terms of human rights?
Thank you very much. As you said, the Human Rights Commission, from its inception in 2006, when they started operations, has called every single year for the abolition of the death penalty and for Sierra Leone to ratify the optional protocol on the Convention on Civil and Political Rights, which says the death penalty should no longer be in our law books. And just a quick correction, it's not the Constitution that says that you have the death sentence for those 3 offenses.
Okay.
The Constitution says you have the right to life, except where it is permitted by law to take your life. So it is these 3 laws, the Offenses Against the Persons Act, the Larceny Act, where it talks about robbery aggravation, and then for mutiny in the Armed Forces Act. So it's those legislation that permits death to be carried out. So it's not in the Constitution.
Okay.
That's why if you notice the legislation that went to Parliament is not amending the Constitution. If not, they would have been, if it's in the Bill of Rights, they would have to actually go for a referendum. But luckily, it's just saying remove those references to death penalty, and so we can go ahead. So going on to your question, we were very happy at our UPR review this year that government gave its commitments to repealing it. I mean, the moratorium was a move to show since 1998. The moratorium showed the will of the government of Sierra Leone. During Pakaba's time, even former President Nkrumah, at some point he almost removed it, but then things changed. I don't really know why. But we're really happy to see now in 2021, the government actually taking steps to finally remove it, just like how they promised Part 5, and we've seen that happen. We're happy to see now that there's actually a bill being tabled in Parliament. So that will raise Sierra Leone's definitely human rights credentials, because all of our donor partners, all of our other states, UN states, have all been calling for the removal of the death penalty. And as you said in your intro, it has primarily been used against political opponents. Very rarely has it been actual, normal people being killed. So for us, it's a great move that finally, when we talk about the right to life, we can say indeed in Sierra Leone, the right to life is being upheld in every area.
Yeah, there was a particular...
All right, family, that was Miss Lavali, where they try for expressing, enjoying, just try for make a deeper analysis about how them been on the fight for let this law get rid of out of the books. But again, we see the government make some very serious commitments by repealing the 1965 Public Order Act number 5, where we say even if somebody they practice in work, for example, people in the journalism aspect, they can even charge you as a criminal offense, whether they don't pull it, they don't police. How do you feel? How the government they do? One, they send a very good signal internationally that Sierra Leone is transforming. But I see inside the country we get some serious human rights abuses, even human rights violation. Because there are 2 types. When we talk about human rights abuse, it's different from human rights violation. Human rights violation, now government agents they actually the doing. So now that make it become a violation, where in human rights abuse can be within one another, and where in government can technically, to some extent, give a blind eye on it. Anyway, we're not able to deep into the technicalities of the term, but we don't see disturbing videos there. Even people who are mentally retarded people there, they are not spared. And we don't see government not they come out plainly for condemn them here, or for say for stop. For example, let me just take Blacka for where we see some talks and they beat her mercilessly. Up till now, we not see civil society come out there, they talk about that. We not see the government make a press statement regarding that. I don't know if another area, but we not see anything like that for our. Just address some of them here where they get something for do with we integrity as a human being. Is it the government is trying to please international community because of the receipt? Whilst we will vote for them or not valuable. What now you take? You know if it's a double standard that take place? Yeah, go to yes. No.
Me? Yeah, it's funny. I think the woman you introduced, the Mrs. Lavalley, also they don't do very brilliant job. But the moment where I reach about donor partners and all, yeah, Salona a donor driven country. For now, we can't run away from that. We just get for bow. But a very, very much frustrating way. Some of we the young one, they want to get a free and open mind, like how Mr. Kalmobi they allude say maybe now we young people that we don't can learn certain values them they really behind. You understand? For push on way for better we, not just on way for better we. Like a way for better we in the nation, but in a better way, it a better the one in the high echelons of power. You understand? So it very, very much frustrating for CC. We only they do something because it raise with credentials or it this we so it bring down away. In the most part, even then donor money are not the better the ordinary Sierra Leoneans. But I've been pray you ask similar questions like that because I always want to say repealing this capital punishment is one. But how is it that the general human rights is being maintained for the ordinary citizens there? How is public safety in Sierra Leone people out there? You know, because I don't know advance, you understand? I spend me past 1 week, say even before this program, they watch a program called License to Kill, where doctors, nurses, medics, and other people, and they kill people, and even as places like America. But there lies the question: if you not get for the death sentence, and we all don't show the reason we make for remove them, but you get for find mechanisms them for promote public safety. How you make sure say the ordinary citizens are being protected against deranged and evil people? But aside from that, how governments therefore maintain the human rights of the ordinary Sierra Leoneans them? Enough for matter color, party color, enough for matter region, enough for matter tribe, enough for matter if you rich or poor. But unfortunately, so far we're not able to reach that level. They will see, in fact, some even degradation on we human rights internally. So it good externally, but I hope say we people the way they take these decisions, then go reflect inward, say no, we have to do better, not only for ourselves, for project we self, as if we are this human rights champion, but we've got to do better for the people of Sierra Leone. They deserve better, and make sure say every other Sierra Leonean is protected under the law. I hope that will be. It not be it na salon, but I just hope say that will be, say the leaders then go reflect and make sure say all the decisions them with regards to human rights, they are genuine ones.
All right, thank you very much. Yes, Mr. Camara, you get anything for buttress based on, for me, this is some level of double standard is being taken because we still are political prisoner. For example, Camareba, where I feel say by virtue of imposition, therefore don't grant and bail. We not say them for release her, no. We get a justice system in the country where at least if somebody commits a crime like that, allegation, the court system need for prove him whether he's guilty or not. But at the same time, the man for enjoy in liberty. We are in because you are innocent until you are proven otherwise. I mean, what are you take in terms of double standard? We get political prisoners, the human rights violation they increase, but internationally with the score points there.
Well, very, very unfortunate for a nation like Sierra Leone, generally in African countries. We get one we then can always present and say, then get a law, you understand, for what they say, then get a law for them, then say safe, and then get the other law for the others. Then that's what it generally came up with. African politicians, anything we favor them, now in more they pursue. So that the general perception. So like they don't increase with human rights credentials and internationally, way good for the country. Again, law no get wrong, this they help with because certain, for example, like where they don't repeal certain laws, you definitely know where we use that law. Or then go bypass and say you talk about the double standard. Then come, like, for example, when you talk about the Public Order Act and then count the cyber crime again, you know what I mean? Like, then give one thing with the left hand and then one take out with the right hand, then get ways and way, then go bypass. But for large output in a nutshell, a good general, whether they can publicly, then pull them because it is playing with advantage. No matter how you look at them, for example, the camera, he go to prison till he die, probably, but they're not going for hang and kill him. So during that period, anything can be that will get luck if fortunate. You understand? But if you're not fortunate, it go there because when you better medication, the food, and when you get in prison, the man can equally die. Where in the other way around, like they don't condemn the man to death already. You know, in order that the laws then say they kill you by hanging or by firing squad, but slowly they kill you like where everybody in a prison. So, but if you fortunate, the process is slow, then something will happen. It can be anything we will get out of it. So the double standard, yes, it is there, but the general rule, where did they get them? Again, that helpful for we. African democracy, people don't know able to understand them, is very, very different from the West. And waiting then at the books, not when they implement 100%. I mean, a lot of times, if even you want to take to street, say you demonstrate for your rights, human rights, you get for a rethink, you understand, and give yourself that 1 minute, let you reconsider your decision, say, man.
The 6 cents.
Yeah, it's also America today. You understand? Also France today, where inside the president will they want you can't you gaga, you slap him, and still alive. You understand? You express your opinion. Say, me I hate you for like you comment and everything, you still live a happy man. Africa now, you know this. So if you do that in Africa, in fact, if you're lucky, sometimes you go live for 1 hour. But if you're not lucky, you say you make that attempt that you ever hit a president, now they get rid of you. You don't get the opportunity to go through trial. So that now a reminder to we as Africans and say, yes, waiting in the books, yes, waiting they read in a book, yes, waiting they see in a movie. Africa will always be Africa, no matter how you look at her. They know they implement the full laws according to how they did at the book step. Trust me, and that need for change, for there we go begin move, closer to we other, other countries, and we at least we try for be like not the world anyway. That really need for change. We unfortunate.
All right, thank you very much. And we always make something very clear to the listeners there. Yeah, we give praise to whom praise is due. When government do something brilliant, something good, we praise them. This now a very good thing because it raise the standard of the country. At least we will attract more attention. I mean, in terms of, like where Alpha, you just mentioned that Salon, I do not live in country, and if not person they feed you, but I get for listening to it, they say, oh, because if you and I mean if you don't listen to me, maybe I will restrict for even give you. So Salon don't do very well. We just accept because for run a country very difficult. For run even your own personal life, not for talk about the country now, extremely difficult. So we urge the government for the government to improve more, at least. Allow the justice system for work, let the institutions work. That's not the thing. All right. So we're not going to go too much on this one. At least we don't nyaka a little bit. So we're going to the second part of the program where they talk about APC, the All People's Congress. I mean, family, this is not the thing what some of us stand for. The revenge politics. From the video what we get, now a very disturbing video where APC, some strong APC stalwarts, they plan say if then come back in our power, then go make sure say them put them over there in the main strategic area. Because why? They say SLPP don't start and at the beginning, so we say we can follow. I mean, let me just think, why will not they grow up? I mean, why will not they grow up? You know, if you are like Pekin, where knock me and knock you. Knock me, they left by me, anaki, subtit me, subtit. I mean, look at if you even look at the person, the way they talk, their age, not to even add youth, they are not even youth. These are people that wait on 40, 50, 55, they close to 60. They get the mentality for knock me and knock you. I mean, if APC, if SLPP they do something bad, that make within the media for let's follow, correct them, at least remind them, follow at least situation improve. So I know they expect for the opposition for say if they take power, because we know from time immemorial, now then two parties are the swing power and then exchange power. If they don't begin get this thought, say if we can have power, we go just repeat with the SLPP. Believe me, Salon will not go nowhere. Because the only way Salon will go before, you put the right person at the right place, regardless of in tribe, regardless of in color, regardless of in region. These are the only way. There is no absolute, no magic. The reason why you see Western society they flourish, not because they follow the due process. To a large extent, the institutions, they work. They work. We don't say, we're not going to say entirely they are perfect or all of the institutions they work 100%, but at least they're very close to 90%. Even if we are close, we work with institutions to 40, 50%, maybe we level of development progress would be extremely better. Because Salon people, to be specific, we know how for please. If you check 2 out, what they ask for, now simple basic thing there. Simple basic thing. Water, road, light. I mean, any government will able to provide them basic tier for Sierra Leone. Believe me, that government it go hold Salon for a very long time. Water, light, road, those food. These are things that where other people abroad, other countries, not even talk about that. These are not part of even the manifesto. Now it's shame for yourself for let politicians now they can't talk about light and road. But we now from 60 years now, then same thing we talk about. Why? Because we know they really do the right thing. Person will deserve forget the right job. No, they do. Now, then they're on our waiting, hoping that when they come, so meaning that if an SLPP mandate right now, where they work very, very good, genuinely, sincerely for the country, if they assume power, when this man can then go pull up because of. At the end of the day, now the country in progress, you don't pull. This no means say SLPP not do this. Because yeah, we don't kind of many times, we don't play some of them clips here. Statistics here, they all see more than 200 people and then sack them for no good reason, And when you check all of them, their surname all linked to to a region. They link to the north or the western area, largely where now the opposition stronghold. When some of them say we are there against. Family, I don't want to talk much. Probably some of you know on social media when I go down see this video. If you don't see it, well, get the chance, let you hear it. Waiting for me.
Or social constituency, they take 2-3 people and say, "Una say body under, una say get people who the drop, una say get people who recommend." Not to so. At least everybody engage this time around. Until they start them, where an scam, you know, put nobody. Who say this time around? Hey, oh man, who say you to man for somebody? Yes. And then the old granny say you say go to sleep. Now they never say that to so if that happen, if not cook, you don't cook they pay you. Yeah, they pay you. So under that. So if that happen, we know the talk about. We are just one level again. The hope say if you Dr. Samura win, to be frank with you, now what on? Not so. The activity will go ahead at the 15 next month. I want to partake. You understand? We call a press conference. We don't inform all the party stakeholders by Mahmoud and Sanet. They all don't give it go ahead. That someone they clan and gonna say no Samura, no APC, no Samura, no voting. But they know they get you. The world know they know. Say there are people fighting for Samura. We want to cut across, even not to. Because if you demo that day, that Sunday day, everybody for make meeting in party office. Say no Samura, no APC. And journalists then go.
Anyway, a very long, so we just make a short number because the most important, interesting part now, the part where they talk about yeah, Mr. Kama, what you make of this sort of mentality where politicians still all say the only way out are for revenge?
If I get it right, the point where the man they make is about for replace people them, now governments and key sensitive positions. And to be very frank, you understand, it came out, it took in voice them out, but then at the normal norm anyway, whether na Salon, na Ghana, na Nigeria, even na the UK, let's be very honest. The only difference you get like civil servants and way they not they touch. That are the difference no more between. For example, if the conservative and then are power in the UK, you get for that all the sensitive position them from down the street, they sweep, man. They sweep down the street, say number 10. Sweep. your man there where you trust, but that is natural by nature. You get people there around you where you trust, where you they open, because some them go sabotage you, then go undermine. You go even they draft very good principles, you understand, where you get the country in a mind, they don't get a genuine advice. You understand? Then generally by nature, because like Salon, we get our lens day for see politics in a way, even for example, genuinely, if you know to, let's say you know to a northern now than any office, but you're a hard worker and you capable, you competent enough for work, and with your heart, you really ready to forgive everything, they're not gonna trust you. Trust me, it will mean you don't know Samoa, you don't get APC party card, you don't get no affiliation with APC, you don't get no connection. But just naturally, because you're not a northerner, they're not just go trust you no more, and they will just get rid of you. So that's why it happen. Now, so the Southeasterner, they not go trust them. It don't be a lot of times where something be the moment you na Southeasterner where the APC government go in a power. Straight they will mention say, but we're not surprised. Now because I'm in demand or now because na Gizi man from Kailan. You understand? That the same thing they go. So that is very difficult because I remember where Anesti kind of power, it been clearly mentioned and say, let civil servants then left for the get involved. We get political figures in every ministry or in government department, the minister, but you when a permanent secretary, go down director, this and that, they are not going to involve by politics. At least then when they get rid of the top man then, we are the policy makers then. But we're not going to stay. That's the difference no more. I believe say that we need for work around that day, we improve on that day, and that way we follow, we go forward. But anyway, any side, most governments, even the US, you get for build people there around you where you trust for the you will able to operate, safe and say you had school anyway.
All right, thank you very much. Yes, Alpha, you get something for talk about this based on the video with the watch and what this mean for we democracy, where if you listen to what's in the they say even a cleaner self. I mean, these are people where we're not for even the measure back because they're not even understand politics. They look like where these governments come, all the cleaner drivers who they meet in the state house, then pull it all, you understand? So if another APC stalwart, they say, if they can have power, even cleaner self, then go replace her. I mean, how do you feel when you get statement like this for a country?
No, to be honest with you, I understand the whole model of changes in government, but first I want to say it's pathetic. They hope some of the statements the way that man they say, it's pathetic, and I hope, and they not only hope, they urge the APC party as a whole or the Samoa camp for come out, make a public statement to the nation and condemn genuinely, not for just condemn for condemn's sake. Genuinely such an act, such utterances. You understand? There is this saying, say, two wrongs can't make it right. You understand? Do you not get for work? Now we all get for suffer na salon. I understand the concept of every other government in the world. Where Joe Biden come, David Cameron, Boris Johnson, and so many other people, especially with regards to minister positions or head of parastatals. There will always be changes, you understand? But the civil servant, government for the continuity, in which the civil servant core is always neutral from politics, is always functioning for the betterment of the citizens them. And also you get certain positions them where now appointed positions from the president, but these are tenured positions. Take, for example, the Anti-Corruption Commission. When you appoint somebody, it gets a term of 5 years, for example. And there is strict laws in some of the acts that we established the offices here. How you get for go about before you able to sack somebody. So just kind of power because now Mr. X puts Mr. Y say no, I puller. It go work against we. You get forget reasons them. this person no functions in not being the function well, na the blah 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 ex-government. So that's why you go parliament if necessary. That's why I want to appoint this person. You understand? So it very sorry where we promote say we go replace drivers, we go replace cleaners. The country not go ever develop, and the peace and cohesion we talk about, not go ever there. That unity and love, not go there. And if we get all them vices here at the end of the day, we're not going to get development. So I wish for see a Sierra Leone side, yes, every other party gets either they be a minister, either they be head of certain parastatals, but we get a functioning civil servant, permanent secretaries, drivers, this. We no mix pan politics. Yes, they can go vote for whoever they want to vote for. But them focus period. Because now we see the talk, so you pit people against one another, you put people against one another. Whether mandate or so now say, if we win, I get forget me clean a job. It go all out, and anything you tell her now, when about say for go do, for you for like kind of power, it get for do. But let the person know say there is waiting and called meritocracy. It get for meritan. If you want to be driver, it get for go get in driver license. And drive sensibly and get when and get any job. If you want to be clean as well, you get for clean, serious one, People and no say then get for hand, then living and then position. Then somebody will get any position, it go work well. But if you say I just need for go clap, dance, or do something, or do whatever bad thing this man wants for that do, then you get for work for the country, get for work for the paymaster. And the most time for work for the paymaster and for go commit certain atrocities. So I hope the party and Dr. Samuel Nkamp come out and condemn this. You understand? Changes should happen in every government. Nobody need doubts that one day. But let we know they put this against this. Yes, SLPP don't come, then don't do them. But I hope if na APC come, na NGC come, or na C4C, I hope the next government where they come, then bring a big change and say, no, we are not going to go down the path the other people and go. We appoint, we technocrats them, we ministers them, we directors them, but the civil force, we're going to leave it on church and we go try we best for make sure, as long as you are qualified, you not commit crime, you not sabotage this government. We're going to enhance, in fact, in capacity for make sure they can deliver for Sierra Leone.
All right, thank you very much. Go take one text. Okay, this is coming from Daniel Camara, where they say, that execution is on the 19th October 1998 by Solo B. All right, okay. Well, this the only time we get for analyzing two issues. Okay, I think another text they can sign where they come up from Mohammed Kohli, where they say no one will play the civil service. Yeah, now that was the time for say, but in general, we know how the politics business they play in the country. So we just want to let civil servants be civil servants, because at the end of the day, we feel say this then are the engine for push the wheels of development and the country. All right, family, if you just join we today at the program, we get too many issues there. We talk about Salone don't make a strike. We don't pull the death penalty. The government of President Julius Maada Bio don't pull out. All of we parliamentarians unanimously, all of them vote for remove this bad law within our books there. And secondly, we talk about some of APC stalwarts. We say if they can have power themselves, we do the revenge politics. So for just round up, we just encourage, say we all as Sierra Leoneans, but we love ourselves. Revenge politics, not a bring can development for we. It will just bring you go down the drain when the T101. So yeah, Mr. Kama, what will be you get anything for buttress, or you will just say the last word and then we'll just wrap up?
No, we just I will just say the two things and where we talk about. They're very vital. They let people them look into them, and when at the death penalty where they abolish. Of course, that is very good for Salone. Whatever, if na influence we for do or we do genuinely, anyhow you turn them, they don't abolish them, it's good for we. And of course, the revenge politics again, we all know say they're not good for Salone. So again, it will be a general advice to anybody who work at the civil service, say stay away from. Of course, you get for votes where election reach, but let not see the way party color, they carry party card, and they attend any political party rally and political party conventions. And definitely, if they remove you, we'll not get for see that government the way can get remove and say a bad thing you do. Now, like in big young grave. So later, you know, okay, you can begin to complain, say, oh, now because of that. So now me on wasn't, and they are.
I agree with you. I agree with you 100%. I agree with you. Yes, Alpha, waiting. You get anything for that, and you will just probably say.
Well, I think so with regards to the two topics, then Pakamu already don't take the words from my mouth, the things that I wish for tell people out there. But I will just tell people them for following our YouTube, TPP Leone, you know, help for promote this page, you subscribe na free, and that's go make we come to you more often and keep on updated to Sierra Leonean issues. And not forget for join me tomorrow na this same station on the program Health Corner. We talk about a very, very important topic when resource compatibility, and that's get for do with blood groups. Them very important between couples. Them anybody who una the thing for long una married, become mama and papa, a very, very much important how una go able to get speaking, because na very, very important factor. We nations not to know about them and people them not to know about them, but very important if una get plan for married them go picking. So make sure say una join me tomorrow evening.
All right, thank you very much. So, Fambulen, at the word out tomorrow, we come back with another very important segment. Bye bye.